Hello, in this lecture we will take a look at the action buttons and at the action. Okay, so first of all we will start with the action and then I'll quickly show you how to insert those action buttons. The main thing here is the action, and what we have in this particular slide arrangement is simply the initial slide, the sort of introduction slide, and then we have three more slides. We have slide 1, slide 2, and slide 3. So what an action button does, it allows you to create some kind of an action on the event the button is clicked, on the event that object is clicked. Okay, so it's quite simple really. We go to the first one, and as you can see I have some of these words: to first, to second, and to third. So to create any kind of an action I need to mark my object, select my object, so I'm just gonna mark to first. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to action right here in the links in the insert tab. So in the insert tab, in the links, in the action, I click on the action and I get this action settings. And as you can see, we have two options for actions. We have mouse click, two events basically, mouse click and then mouse over. Okay, so these are very important. As you can see, they are the same as far as the actions are concerned, but the events are different. So when you click, and mouse over means hovering on top of some kind of an object in your presentation. Okay, we will only look at the click. It should be easy enough to understand, and if you want to play around with it, you might want to try the mouse over as well. Okay, so action on click, we have none by default, of course. But then we have hyperlink, okay, hyperlink to. Then we have run program, for example, okay, run program. So this one might be sometimes useful, but basically what would happen, you would browse through your files and you would select the executable file of one of your programs in your computer. So again, it's more of a local thing to do. Maybe it's useful, maybe it's not, but just know that it does exist. And then we have some of these unavailable options, that is run macro and object action. We won't get into that, but you would need some other things to be enabled for those to be enabled. Okay, and then finally you can actually play sound. You can actually play sound, but as I have told you before, you should not play with the sound. Okay, you should not play it, and you should not play with it in your presentations. It is terribly distracting and it is terribly useless. Okay, so there's no sound being played on this one. Okay, now let's do hyperlink to. This is really what it is most useful for. We have next slide, but I don't want next slide. I want my slide 1. Okay, slide 1. So I have many options. I have previous slide, first slide, last slide viewed, and show, and custom show even. All these different options. And in fact, you can even do a URL if you need that. Okay, so if you have some website or something like that, it would be useful to include that kind of a clickable feature so that people wouldn't have to just copy and paste it all the time. Okay, and then you also have other PowerPoint presentations. So basically you would select this, browse through your PowerPoint presentations, and it would open up. It would just have to be always in the same directory, and the same with the files. Okay, so let's stick with these slides and let's do slide. Let's do slide with these three dots. That means you will select a specific one, and as you can see, you have your slide list. Okay, you have your slide list and it is numbered. Slide 1, as you can see, and then we have slide 1, slide 1, slide 1. Now if we don't have the title of these slides, we will just be named slide 1, slide 2, and so on. And since I have my titles on those three slides, it is a bit perhaps messy in terms of these namings, but slide 1 is slide 2 basically. Okay, you have your list as it is properly listed in the list right here. Okay, So we have slide 1. Let's select that. Let's do OK. And then let's do second one, 2 second. Again, go to action, hyperlink to slide, and that is slide 2. OK. And then to third, action, hyperlink to slide 3. Okay, quite simply like that. So we have that. Now let's include our little action button. Let's go to the slide 3. Let's do something a bit more exciting. So to include that, to insert that, you need to go to the insert tab, on which we already are, and that will be in the shapes, okay? So you have all these different shapes, arrows, triangles, wherever you want, and then in the bottom you have these action buttons, okay? You have quite a few of them. They all can be used for different purposes, okay? But we're just gonna take a blank one, okay, like that, just like that, and we would do hyperlink to first slide, okay, just like that. So again, this may not be very useful, as you can simply just do an action on any shape anyways, okay? So now we have that. Let's launch a presentation. Let's see what it looks like just quickly. Okay, so I have to first. I can go to first, right? And I can also use some normal navigation. You see slide 2, slide 3, and now with this one I'm gonna get to the first one again. Okay, I can go back to third, back to first, go to second, use normal navigation to get to the third again, and back to 1. So this is how the actions work. It's quite simple. You just have to remember where to find them. And with that, we will conclude this lecture.